Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and His Son Yahushua Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo. Today is the 26th of March 2024. It's 1441 hours Eastern Time. That's 2:41 hours Eastern Time and 2:41 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to do like a little trade recap and a little analysis on the NQ. So I did a little paper trade here today on the NQ, and let me just go over that real quick. I put that on NQ. All right. So today, well, we have a continuing consolidation here. This is the 1 hour chart. This is my weekly levels. So we have here the market profile value area high at 18613. That's the weekly, 18613.25. On the monthly, the value area high is at 18550.75, right? So the monthly and weekly kind of in the same proximity right here. So we're consolidating around this level, which is the value area high levels for the monthly and the weekly. Excuse me 1 second. Right, so let's see here some weekly levels we have on the pivots. The central pivot is at 18445.75. We also have a Camarilla S3 level here at 18394.42. Right, so these two levels here are creating support. The Camarilla setup is in a higher value relationship where Camarilla S3 is higher than previous week's Camarilla R3. So let me just try and show that real quick. Let me just show you what that means. Right, so this was previous week Camarilla R3. Right here, that red line. I don't know if you could see it too good. Let me just open that up a little more. Right, so this right here, this line right here at 18196.75, right? That was previous week's Camarilla R3. Now, this week's Camarilla S3 is at 18394.42, which is higher than the previous week's Camarilla R3, which is making it a higher value relationship, right? It's a higher value relationship, which is the most bullish relationship you could get in the Camarillas, right? So today, on this week here, Camarilla R3 it moved up to 18755.08. So we're looking for some bullish movements here. So now we're having this consolidation here. We also have a higher value relationship with the central pivots. So this is creating a support area right here. So we had this dip down yesterday into the support area. And now we're just moving up. We're consolidating back up to the monthly value area high. Also the weekly value area high, right? So we had a rejection here today off of the weekly value area high, and now we're below the monthly value area high again. So even though we had this rejection, it's basically a consolidation and rotation around these value area highs, right? We already got the support here. Sellers came down, tested that, got buyers right there. So we're moving back up into this value area high. So I don't know what's going to happen eventually during this week here. Maybe we'll get like on the bearish side, we could get a retest here of the weekly POC level at 18273.50. This would have to break the support though. So maybe we could get another test of the weekly support here at the pivot and the Camarilla S3 and bottom central pivot level, and then rally up into the end of the week and try and close above this value area high level, the weekly and the monthly, right? So previous week's high was 18709, and targets here for Like if we're to fulfill the Camarilla R3 and S3 setup right here, which is a higher value relationship, we should at least test this Camarilla R3 level right here at let's see here, 18755.08, right? So we're looking for like a bullish move, maybe a retest here of the central pivot, and then we could attack this here later on in the week, right? So mainly the goal is to take out previous week's high, 18709, and to fulfill that setup here of the Camarilla's higher value relationship, and possibly get to R1 if we get a nice bullish move, right? So maybe a couple trend days or maybe a trend day could take us up here to R1, floor pivot R1 at 18873. So that said here, let's go down to the 5-minute chart, look at some Camarilla setups and stuff like that on, let's see here, right, so the central pivot here is at the daily value area low, right? So we have a support area here at the daily value area low, right, which is at 18505.75. We have a tight central pivot range here, which is around yesterday's close at 18509.75. And we had like a little retest, almost got to the central pivot. We didn't get there. So basically like a pullback here. Let's see what time that was. So that was yesterday at 11:45 in the ETH, and we had this bullish run up. We cleared above the market profile value area high. We ran into weekly value area high where we started getting that rejection. And by the time we opened here around 9:30, we were below value area high. Buyers retested the monthly value area high, pushed above daily value area high, couldn't get back to weekly value area high, and that's where we came back down to the POC level on the daily, right? And we basically consolidated back and forth. We retested that a couple of times. So let me just show you my trade here. I want to make this too drawn out. So this was my trade using some VWAP levels and the Camarilla setup for the day. So let me just look at that real quick. I know there's a lot on the chart. Let me just point that out with some arrows for you real quick. All right. Right, so on the daily chart, the Camarilla setup is a overlapping lower value. So you can see here, Camarilla R3 is at 18564.79 and it's moving down, right, from the prior day. It didn't pass previous day's Camarilla S3, which was around here at 18538, right? That also moved down, which is off screen right now. Hold on. Tighten that up, right? So you can see here previous day's Camarilla S3 moved down to this level here at 18462. So it's an overlapping lower value relationship, which is moderately bearish, right? So we had like basically like a small rejection of that in the ETH. That setup where we had support here at the central pivot area, right? Pointing that out again. We had this dip down here, didn't get to the central pivot, which is this blue line, and the value area low. Got buyers there and took us up, right? right? So in the ETH coming into the open here, had that rejection here again at weekly value area high. Let's see, at 10:30, created our initial balance between these two lines here, roughly, let's say 18,608.75, and the low was the low was 18,534, right? So that created the initial balance right there, right? So now the initial balance was kind of formed here just below the market profile POC area. So we had the buyers come in here, right? Lower view up, second lower view up, deviation bounce, took it back above the first lower deviation, this green line right here. Let me just point that out. So darker green line, second lower deviation, bright green line, first lower deviation, which is coupled with the market profile monthly value area high. So buyers coming in here, took it back up to VWAP, that white line right there, had the rejection of the value area high, the daily value area high at 18,582. And as soon as we broke down here, VWAP again, let me just make this a little bigger. So this was basically like a little scalp paper trade, right? So you see the signal here, selling wick, value area high, wait for the breakdown of VWAP, retest, went short right there. You can see that sell arrow right there, went short and took profits here at the first lower deviation, which is normally support, right? So you can see we had that buying wick coming up on that candle, so we wicked down below it a little bit, taking it back to this monthly value area high and took profit right there, right? So let's see if I could see what those, right? So sell at 18,573.25, just below VWAP right here, and then took profit at right here at 18,552.50, right? So that was basically my little scalp trade. Didn't really trade today because of the consolidation and the rotation and basically the congestion, right? So just took a little paper trade right here, and that was basically it. Nothing special today. It's kind of a day to stay out of the market and see what we can get like after some news. I think there's some news on Thursday, maybe. Not really sure yet. Not really sure right now where the news is. I don't have the calendar up right now. So in this kind of congestion market, I just took a little paper trade just to keep practicing, certain strategies. And as you can see here, there's a value area high rejection, breakdown of VWAP. Took a quick scalp basically to first lower deviation right here, which is that green line. So VWAP breakdown, market profile value area high, rejection, VWAP breakdown to first lower deviation support, right? And also this area here, which is monthly value area high. And we basically just consolidated for the rest of the day. Well, right now it's 2:55 p.m. So we got a couple more hours to go. All right, y'all. So that's my little trade recap. I haven't put out like a video in a little while, so I just decided to. I've been working a lot of hours and stuff like that, so I haven't been able to really trade. So just seeing what's up today, and just drop a little video here and there. And this week I should be able to drop some more videos. So just wanted to, keep the channel going and provide some content. All right, y'all. It's Malak Sholomo. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed.